Jazz, man, jazz.
What about jazz?
All right, so I got a lot in common with some people as far as musical taste.
Sure.
As far as the Rolling Stones and the Warren Zevon and
common interests.
Yeah,
right?
But jazz seems to be a genre that not just either you get it or you don't, but one that I don't know. I guess it's got an image that some people don't want to approach, and I could make a lot of analogies.
Oh, there used to be a radio show called The Jazz Image long time ago.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is directly what you're talking about. There is most definitely a jazz image, and it seems pompous and lofty to some people, particularly if I may sound condescending. Working class people don't tend to dig on jazz because it's not in any way related to a working man experience. It's very strange.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of why it is, because a rock band is 3, 4, 5 guys working together to make a song and a sound, and that seems very, you bring up the working class, seems very, close knit, harmonious, and then you get the jazz where it often seems to be a lot of guys supporting one guy who's just off on his own tangent. And you're
setting up the solo.
4 or 5 cats, and they're just kind of taking turns.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what about that.
I don't understand, because
it's a
precursor to hip hop.
Wow.
It went on to hip hop, and everybody. I brought this up a while ago, where it's a good thing I like hip hop and rap, because people are fiercely intolerant of people who don't like rap. Have you noticed that?
Well, if you don't like rap, you probably want to keep your mouth shut around the city.
Just don't talk about it. Well, I mean, granted, this is another thing where I think Atlanta is the default for everywhere, which it is not. I forget that I live in Atlanta, where Atlanta and hip-hop are like, oh, wow, can I just not come up with a decent wow?
Wow, I thought you were hearing the plane going over.
No, I'm trying to think of an analogy for things that go well together, and I'm too freaking brain dead to even come up with that. That's pathetic. It's all right. I'll get quicker. I'll get quicker eventually. It'll work itself out.
So I was gonna also drop a TP update.
Yes, as advertised.
And so got to we are now in America, in Mason and Dixon. We met George Washington and Ben Franklin, which has got to be my favorite part of just about everything.
Any book.
Yeah, ever. So, yeah, that's about all I can say about that. If you haven't read it, you haven't been there. You can't understand. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, my favorite book is probably Mason and Dixon by Thomas Pynchon. And if you pick up a copy, it will look formidable to you, because it is written in a late 1700s, not a patois, but a form. It's written like 1700s people, and
with all the appropriate punctuation and capitalization and nuance and lexicon, and it is as if an artifact from that time has arrived into your lap. And I mean, your version, I'm sure, also has the deckled pages.
Not the deckled pages.
No, it doesn't.
But it does have the cloth, latitude and longitude on the cover. My cover, I had to tape it up because I was carrying it around and it got wet and it started to disintegrate. But Mason and Dixon is, I would call that my favorite book. I think I've read it more than twice at this point.
Yeah, I think I'm currently in it for my second go round as part of my project.
Yeah.
And
one of the funniest books I've ever read.
It's amazing. I gotta say though, just to close it, I am fearful of Against the Day.
Oh yeah, man.
I'm scared of that one.
I don't think I've read that more than once.
I'm about halfway through Mason and Dixon now,
Yeah.
and so I kind of see it.
Against the Day was a tough one. I really loved it, and it's a portrayal of some bleak fucking times in America. Like,
Well, I believe. I mean, I don't have page counts on me, but I believe it is
1100 something.
Yeah, it's. You read Gravity's Rainbow, and then you read Mason and Dixon, and it's like, wow, those were huge books. And then you get to Against the Day, and it's like, wow, it's almost two of those
twice as much
put together, and every bit is epic.
Yeah, but it's written in a much easier prose for the most part, because it's meant to be like the adventure novels from the early 1900s in a lot of ways, and it goes into.
Yeah, think Charles
City.
Dickens and stuff like that. It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
And it's not. I look forward to it in its way.
It's just some things end badly for some people, and it's really grim in a couple of parts. And there's a man who's addicted to a form of dynamite that if you consume it, it's some sort of hallucinogen, or it's a psychedelic.
Yeah, I mean we're
not real.
We're not gonna give too much. We're gonna.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, we're gonna save Against the Day. For another time, maybe. I
gotta hold back, because it's just like I can sit in here. The Pynchon novels that I know, I can talk about and bore everybody.
So let's do it. What are you reading now, Matty?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
What am I reading?
What you gonna pick up? Because like I said, I'm reading that Charles Beaumont.
I know it. I got something. I don't know. All I can think about is Slaughterhouse 5, because it's right next to my desk. I think there's something newer than that, but what would it be? So maybe it is Slaughterhouse 5.
Are you gonna check out that Sinclair Lewis sometime?
Yeah, especially you found a copy for it looked like $6, and that's, that's the other thing about these novels, is they're not expensive. They're like the price of a movie rental.
For the most part,
for something that you're going to hang on to for the rest of your life in most cases. When are you going to get rid of it?
Even Mason and Dixon isn't that much. I mean,
I think it was $12.
Was it really?
I mean, I got the soft cover.
Wow. Yeah, I got the hardcover of Against the Day. I think that's.
I got that hardcover because I got it when it came out.
Mm-hmm. I think that's when we were reading them together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is crazy to think that's 10 years ago.
When it first came out.
Yeah. And I seriously thought that was it. I really was. I was like, okay, this is his capper. And then what? Did something come out before Inherent Vice?
Not before it, but since it.
That's right. Way behind.
Yeah, it's awesome too.
It's not like I'm running out of time to,
okay, so Inherent Vice is own awesome universe, and I sincerely wish that Thomas Pynchon would write a Doc Sportello franchise. Just write a dozen novels about Doc Sportello.
I've heard rumblings, but
I would not mind if he went down that path, but obviously he probably won't. I mean, that doesn't seem like his style at all. Because
what's Against the Day, though? I mean, it includes a number of stories of the Chums of Chance.
Yes.
Does it not?
Yeah.
And it gives you a strong impression that he's fleshed it out
far beyond
what you
yeah.
see.
Yeah, I mean, from the first reference, you have a reference to a scene that is not included.
Yeah.
And a story that pairs with what is happening. And as a plot device, as characterization, it all works at the same time, like the cogs of an airship somehow.
There you go.
It's an amazing. If you haven't, for those of you out there who haven't read any Thomas Pynchon, I believe that Thomas Pynchon may be like jazz, and you may think that it's a little too academic, a little bit too pretentious. Don't.
No.
it's like James Joyce.
Oh. Yeah. And I was tried to, if I can frame a sentence, I got into the wrong James Joyce too early, and I didn't get it, and I went away for a long time, and then I came back and I read Finnegan's Wake. And I think that was the way to go, because pretty much anything you read after Finnegan's Wake will be easier to read. Anything. Well, by anybody. You know, I mean, it's... I don't think I can't get started on Finnegan's Wake. There was something I wanted to say about Pynchon.
Nothing will appear as difficult to read as Finnegan's Wake.
Yeah.
Go ahead with your Pynchon.
That's the thing. Oh, it was something about, which is the one that, is it Against the Day? I'm starting to think it is, where it has a battleship that splits in two. Is that
yeah, I think
V, or is that...
No, it's not
it's
V.
Against the Day.
Yeah, if it's not Mason and Dixon, but...
I think it's Against the Day because that's all about parallels and things...
Spar lines, etc.
Yeah. Yeah, and the ship split into two pieces and two ships.
Yes.
And a guy was on one side and the girl was on the other side, and they never saw each other again or something. It was great.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Then there's the fact that you were talking about each Pynchon novel represents a diagram.
No, see, I can't take credit for that. That was Stony Mike, man.
Okay, so our friend Stony Mike brought up the fact that every Pynchon novel is a diagram. Crying of Lot 49 is a square. Against the Day is parallel lines. Mason and Dixon is, of course, a line. V is a V. Inherent Vice is IV. Am I leaving anything out?
No, you got Vineland, which really doesn't.
But Vineland is a wave, is it not? Is that not a wave?
Well, I'm thinking, yeah, it can be also described as the valley or the peak, which go. Is also...
Yeah.
Because a lot of them do pertain to the perpendicular line or the 45-degree angle V.
I mean, there's a point in Gravity's Rainbow where...
I wonder if he's spelling something. I've never tried to put them all in a line.
I don't think so. I think it's just a theme of each one is a diagram, but...
I mean, it relates to his interest or, his background in the vectors and...
Oh, in Gravity's Rainbow, he explains what Kilroy is here means. The little drawing of Kilroy was here.
No, I think that was V. I think that was V.
Maybe.
That was V, in which he does the Kilroy.
That would make more sense. Isn't it Gravity's Rainbow where it's a transistor? Kilroy is here as a transistor?
It may also, I mean, it may be there as well, but I believe it.
Have we completely lost everybody at this point? Is this, I mean, good God, we're talking about esoterica, holy shit.
No, it's not that esoteric. I mean, anyone out there with a passing familiarity of TP probably can judge some of it.
I don't think people even know what that is beyond a Styx song anymore. You know? Like, that's where Mr. Roboto comes from. And I think I could bring up Mr. Roboto and I get blank stares, which is a good thing, probably. Because, geez, what a bad... I thought that was the shit when I was a kid. Mr. Roboto? Holy God.
Well, it's very convenient that the digital revolution makes less to throw away.
Because it's so... valueless,
right?
And
I didn't say it, but I'm
saying it.
It's a good thing.
I'm saying it. There's nothing that you can see right now. Well, there's a couple of things, but as far as what is pushed on you, as far as music, there's nothing you can see that is performance based. It's all based in the image of usually a girl, but it's a guy a lot of the time, a real feminized guy, and it's just an image of that person's songs and videos. And great.
That's the third kind of sound, man. That's like, it's excellent.
All right.
What other sounds can it make?
This is not good.